Hey everyone, I'm Jeff Howe alongside Karen Guregian. We're here at Gillette Stadium where the Patriots are preparing for Sunday's game down in Baltimore, and we know those games are always fun. Before we get to that, let's talk about the three biggest storylines of the week, and it really started off with a disappointing loss down against the Dolphins where the Patriots finally got off to a good start, but they couldn't finish this one.
Yeah, they did score first, but it kind of went a little bit downhill after that. Their offense was moving the ball up and down the field, but they couldn't put the ball away in the red zone. This is the first game without Rob Gronkowski, who obviously is done for the season. Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman had big games, but again, once they got inside the 20-yard line, that's when the real estate shrunk, and that's when they had difficulty.
And the only successful red zone trip they had came off of Michael Ho'omanu-Inui's greatest catch of his football life. And you can't expect that stuff to happen every single week. You mentioned Amendola and Edelman. They combined for 23 catches, working, of course, a similar area of the field to Gronkowski, but when it comes down to the red zone, that's where they're going to miss him. I mean, when other players are single covered or double covered, I mean, a guy like Gronkowski could push off of a defender, or Brady could throw the thing 10 feet in the air and count on Gronkowski to bring it down. Those are just the special types of plays that they're struggling to get elsewhere. Maybe Kenbrell Tompkins or Aaron Dobson are able to come back this week and help them out in that department. And another key injury that they've suffered now, storyline number 2, is Nate Solder. Second concussion in as many games, the fourth diagnosed concussion of his 3-year career. Missed Wednesday's practice for the second week in a row, came back Thursday, so it seems like he's on a similar timeline this week than the one that he had last week, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he'll be out there Sunday.
No, it would be stunning for a guy who's suffered his second concussion in as many weeks or so would be back. I don't know what the NFL protocol is about if you can be back that soon.
You can, but he's...
You know, I don't know. It's just kind of doubtful. But if he's back, he's back. We saw Logan Mankins do yeoman work, moving over from left guard to left tackle. Josh Klein filled in at left guard. You know, they held the fort as best they could. It was a makeshift offensive line. You know, they have obviously more time to work it out this week because it's not catching them off guard, so to speak. But again, it's not what they're looking for going against a Ravens team that's very sack happy and will go after Brady.
In the more immediate future, this Ravens game has huge implications for the Patriots, who are trying to get back on track, trying to keep a hold of that number 2 seed in the first round bye, which would be huge for the injuries that they're dealing with, and for also a Ravens team that's trying to keep its playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, it's hugely significant. And the other thing that's kind of weirdly at work here, you know, they lose that game, and it's possible they'd have to play the final game of the season for a playoff berth. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be, you know, facing Buffalo with your playoff lives on the line, and that's all in the realm of possibility. So there's so many things at work here. They would like to win and just put it to bed, let's just say, and just wrap up the AFC East and, you know, not have to worry about it going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in a worst-case scenario, they could lose, the Dolphins could win. That definitely, again, puts the Patriots in a position where they're going to have to win their final game or have a Dolphins loss in the final week to win that division. The other scenario also, though, is if the Bengals also win and the Colts win and the Patriots lose, the Patriots all of a sudden drop to the 4th seed. They got you know, you're going from having control of the number 1 seed just a few days ago to potentially falling all the way to number 4 and having your playoff hopes come down to the final week of the season, and that would be a shock with the way that this team navigated much of this season already. And to follow all of our coverage up to and through the game, you can follow our work on BostonHerald.com and the Blitz blog.